for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval amendment of meeting agenda items.
I would like to just make mention, there's two items that are on the agenda this evening that were not originally posted when the agenda came out on Thursday and Friday last week. 11.1 is to cancel the October 10th meeting, and then 12.3 is AVID volunteers for Lakeview High School. So since they weren't originally posted in the agenda last week, I want to make mention of that.
But they are in our agenda.
Yes, they are.
So do I have a motion?
We can do it as presented.
Yes.
Okay. I move that we approve the agenda for September 12th, 2015 as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes for September 12th, 2016 as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Correspondence.
I have no, Madam Chair.
Public comment? Reports, facilities update.
Take it, go ahead. Take the money and run.
Let's see, so you guys checked out the AD Hayes soccer field. The high school soccer field, will have the poles up on Wednesday, and hopefully have that inspection on Wednesday as well, so kind of all one deal. And the new goals are being put together, not quite yet, but they will be put together by the time we get those poles in on Wednesday. And then the phones have been a bit of a challenge. CenturyLink is really pushing for not porting the numbers. And so we've had to go, I've had to sit in on a couple of conference calls with Ken, with Basin Telecom, and persuade them that they probably should do this. So I think we're moving in the right direction, but this is taking longer than we anticipated because they kept kicking it back and saying no.
So physically, are they?
Physically, we have the
Everything's there.
phones, we're ready to roll.
They can
It's
go
just
in,
the
yeah.
porting of the lines to the new system is what they're,
Okay.
so we have the same phone numbers as before and not have to get new phone numbers.
Oh.
Basically, that's what the deal is, but CenturyLink doesn't want to give up that business, but. so
They really don't have much of a choice.
They
Under
really
under
don't,
federal law.
but they can delay it for as
Mhm.
long as they would like, and kick it back, deny it for, because you didn't dot the I. I mean, that ridiculous, so. Well, that's why me and Ken has been on the phone with them a little bit.
They won't have to, it's just they'll, if it gets too nasty, they can file a complaint with the FCC and that'll take care of it. It just, you don't want to go that option because that's kind of a nuclear strike, so it's.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance, there was another email this morning from them, and Ken said just send it to me, and he was working on it, so I didn't get a chance to talk to him this afternoon.
On my end, some time ago when we discussed Senate Bill 540, facilities and bond measures and state relief as far as fixing our buildings, maintenance and so on. The one thing that was discussed was a thing called the Technical Assistance Grant. ODE had put off for a very, very long time getting that grant out. Well, it's been released. It was released around the 1st of the month. It's due this Friday, so I am going to write the grant and submit it this Friday to see if we can get some support. And the purpose of the grant is to bring in professional people in the construction trades, as sanctioned by ODE, to do a complete run-through on every building in this district to see what the costs would be as far as fixing everything up, from painting to drywall, you name it, plumbing, whatever. So it's a $25,000 grant. I'm going to put a lot of heart and soul into it and see if we can get that and get these professionals to come in and do this facilities analysis for us.
Wasn't that a prerequisite for the?
Yeah, it's a prerequisite. Should we, as a district, decide we want to pursue maintenance and bond measure through Senate Bill 540.
To get the matching funds.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Okay. When's that due?
Do this Friday.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that's due this Friday too, it's kind of goes in facilities, is the Oregon Health and Safety Plan for schools. Have to deal, write paragraphs and statements as far as what this district does with radon, which you already approved, which will be in the plan, the lead water thing, lead paint, asbestos, integrated pest management. So, Klamath County, I've reached out to them, they've provided some wonderful guidance, and so, got a lot of paperwork this week. We'll turn that in as well. At this point in time, it is in draft form. The state just will go through, take a look at it, say, you know, work on this, we like this. Get your final draft done, due January 1. So that's the timetable on this particular plan that we have to submit as a district. So that, of course, that's related to facilities too. So it's pretty comprehensive and very broad-based. Anyway, that's my report on facilities. So.
I want to say thank you too for showing us the playground. That's exciting. Building principal reports.
Can we let Bryce go real quick? 'Cause it's gonna, is that okay? Can we jump down to the ASB report?
Well,
We don't have
I'm
to.
be on the spot here because we learned we aren't supposed to do that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Bryce,
okay.
you just sit tight. Okay, we got this.
We just didn't know because we tried to, I know he has a lot of homework.
I actually never did.
Good job. Okay.
I won't steal all your
Put
thunder
you
and talk
down
about
on
homecoming. I'll let you do it. Okay, for the high school, middle school, our ADM as of today, the middle school is at 107 kids with a 95% attendance. The high school was at 248 kids, about a 94% up to this point. We're down about 8 students in the high school and 3 in the middle school overall from last year at this time, which is about kind of what I thought when I talked last time after things kind of flushed out with registration and we got everybody in. Just some events, school pictures we had on last Wednesday, the 21st. Along with some staff development, we had Marsha Moyer in the building, and she walked around and was able to observe some classrooms with us and have some really meaningful discussions with teachers and provide some guidance and insight there, and then a debriefing at the end. So I think it was a pretty valuable time. It was only half a day, so we didn't get to see very many classes with her, but the ones that we did were very impressive. She was very impressed with our teachers and the work that they're doing.
Who does she work for?
She is an independent, she's a curriculum, kind of a teaching guru that the ESD brought in that has worked with us for 3 years now, I think, two or three years. Yeah. More staff development. We got an AVID trip coming up at the end of the month, end of October, an open house at Fairmont. If any of the board members would like to jump in and go to visit Fairmont and see a national demonstration school, happy to have you. It's a pretty valuable trip. Gives our teachers a chance to see it at a level of fidelity that we're hoping to get, that we're on that path, but we're not there yet.
Where's that date?
It's going to be October 27th is the day is the day of the open house. So we'll have to go to the 26th after school, open house the 27th, and come back that evening.
Where
So,
is Fairmont?
what's that?
Where is Fairmont?
It's in Boise. It's kind of our.
just hop on the bus too?
Yeah, we're gonna take the expedition. We may turn it into a minibus trip. You never know.
I'm interested, keep me posted.
Okay.
I'm still trying to grasp what this happens.
Okay. Fairmont's kind of our sister school that we paired with that we've developed a really good relationship with. You know, all of the state AVID stuff is out of Portland. So anything that happens is typically in Portland, Salem, and Boise's not any further than those places. And they've just been so great to work with and so willing to, you know, Mr. Prock built that relationship with a childhood friend at that school. And so it's just really blossomed into a really good relationship with them. And they always notify us of any trainings they have or any open houses. And they kind of tailor it to what we need to see or what we would like to see. And so it's a pretty good opportunity for our staff. Next week is progress reports, they'll be sent out next week. So, man, we're flying right along, we're already halfway through the first 9 weeks. So, those will go out next week. And then, last thing I have was just, was gonna talk about homecoming week a little bit. There was the 12th through the 16th, but I'm not gonna steal any more of Bryce's thunder, so I'm gonna let him get to that with the ASB report. Any questions?
Do we have any numbers, data, feedback in written form on AVID and what it's done for our kids?
We don't really yet. We're in that, it takes a little bit of time. This is the first year we're certified. We actually turned our stuff in at the end of last year. We got notification a couple weeks ago that we were certified as an AVID school, which is that's the first time that's happened. And so we won't really have any hard and fast data for another year or so. We still don't have an AVID, a senior class yet. So this is the first year we went up into the high school. So this year we're 9, 10, and 11. So we don't really have anything yet. I think from an informal perspective, I think I can tell you that organization is better for our kids. I go into classrooms now and it's pretty much across the board. Either kids are taking Cornell notes or they have an interactive notebook. We went binders school-wide and we found a little bit of resistance in that, which we knew we would, but by and large, the kids have taken those binders and ran with them, and we have some staff that see each group, kind of a contact teacher that have put those binders together with them. And so the organization has been much better. I don't know if you can, as a teacher, if you see that.
I noticed it last year when I was doing the interactive notebooks and the binders, that kids as 8th graders who are not very organized, then as 9th grade, when I really used the interactive notebooks and the one binder, they were much more organized. At conferences, I continually repeated that they were more organized. And so I think then the kids, if they do their homework and they put it in their binder and it's organized, then when it's due, they put their hand on it and they turn it in. And so then their grades go up accordingly.
Would that be would grades show us? Could you compile any sort of historic data or attendance or participate, anything that you could attach some?
Mm-hmm. Possibly, and that's something that we need to look into. That's one of the things on our AVID site team agenda that we continue to look at is what data can we use to kind of guide us as we move forward. And so that's some stuff that we're trying to piece together. And quite frankly, it's been a little difficult to grab that as we were starting because we were so small and we had such a small population of AVID kids. Now we're getting to where we have a pretty solid number. I think we have close to 90 kids in AVID now. And so I think we're going to be able to see some better numbers now that we have a little bigger sample size.
Okay.
One other thing that we've done that is pretty unique, I think, to this area for sure, is that all of our 8th graders take the PSATs. So that'll give us some data as well, I think on how they do on that and how they progress when they take them again later on. So
When do they take them? October?
yeah, the exact date escapes me. Is it the 19th?
Is for the high schoolers.
Yeah, the high schoolers take it the 19th. I'm not sure we've set a date for the 8th graders yet.
So just as you're doing AVID stuff, if you can keep in your mind that any hard data is very useful to us when we go out into the community to try and explain what this is doing.
Sure. And then the one other thing I'll throw out there for you guys too is that every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month, is our AVID site team meetings. And that comprises teachers, administration, parents. We got them all, and so that's another great opportunity for you guys if you're interested. They happen at 7:15 the first Tuesday of every month. If any of you are interested in coming to being on the site team or being a part of it and being involved with that too.
AM or PM?
What's that?
Oh, AM and
AM, yeah, AM. Sorry.
I was afraid of.
Is it required that they take the PSATs, or is it optional?
Our AVID kids all take it. They all took it last year. So.
In the 8th grade?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's required of AVID, but not all 8th graders have to take it?
Right.
Thank you, I know that was unexpected. questions, but,
Yeah.
okay. Do we have any other questions for Mr. Hamilton? No, step, we move on. Mrs. Warner?
I'll get to the enrollment in just a sec, but what I wanted to kind of piggyback on that Mr. Hamilton was talking about is that our sixth grade teachers expressed some interest in dabbling in AVID just a little bit. So they have spent some time with our high school teachers. Brett Kroc has attended some trainings, and they are taking notes and binders, those two strategies, binder organization and taking Cornell notes to their classrooms, and they are piloting that and working on those skills with our sixth graders this year to support the high school's effort in making AVID more of a seamless transition as they go up there. Okay. Our enrollment is 400 even right at the moment. 47 at Union and 353 Fremont Hay. That's up a little bit, about 20 kids from last year at the end of the year. The majority of those are in younger grade classrooms, specifically kindergarten. We had quite the surge. We expected about 45 for kindergarten, and we have, probably 64 right now, kindergartners, including Union. And then we had a few trickle in those upper grades. We did not expect our sixth grade to be quite as large, and those are still holding steady at 27, 28 kids a classroom. Fifth grade has 30 right now. So we're kind of packed to the gills.
Yeah.
I have thank you posters that the kids have signed showing community members laying sod to go out to our partners that help donate to the playground project, and I'd like to get those out in the next week to them, and I'm just going to hand deliver those because they're a little bit large. But we took quite a few pictures of the folks when we were out here laying sod, on pallets. We also participated in the walkthroughs with Marsha Moyer, and the format was kind of neat in that she would go in and observe a classroom, and then we would get to, one administrator, Bob Nash from ESD, and the two teachers, do a simulated evaluation of that teacher, and then we would bring that teacher in and talk to them about the strengths and weaknesses. And she just had a ton of positive things to say to our teachers to let them know what a good job that they were doing. And then sometimes she might say, did you think about this? But really positive experience for our teachers, and we went to the same debrief with the high school teachers. Wednesday of this week, we have all of our kids EasyCBM tested. We're required to have a progress monitoring tool 3 times a year. So our fall testing is completed, and we will sit down in what we call data team meetings. Each grade level gets an hour. They review the data, and they look for weaknesses in the grade level of where they need to really focus either interventions for those kids or in classroom activities to target deficits in their reading and math. So those meetings will be taking place on Wednesday. We have picture day on October 3rd for Fremont Hay. Union is October 4th. We have a team of 4 teachers and Brandy Harris going to a poverty conference in Eugene with Eric Jensen. He is the guru on poverty and how it affects kids' development and their brain development as well as their social development. And we have chose that as one of our goals as a building to work on poverty and understanding that population a little bit more. The greenhouse arrived last week. Sam and Janet and I spent some time at Union kind of looking at where it might be located. Sam, as soon as we get some other things under control out at Union, we have some plumbing issues that he's taking care of today, but as soon as he can get to it, he'll start cutting sod out and matting that area for the greenhouse and putting gravel in for that greenhouse to be installed.
So it's not going in where the old one was?
The old one was very small,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't fit in that area anyway. So it's going to go on the southwest side of the gym, kind of where that backstop sits at the south end of the field. It will be in that area back there. And I think that's about all I have to report. Are there any questions?
Any questions? I don't think so. All right.
Can I add a couple things? I forgot.
Where are your notes?
We got a couple AVID field trips next week that I wanted to mention. We're taking all of our groups. They're going to go all visit different colleges. We're going to SOU. We're going to College of the Siskiyous. We're going to OIT. Yeah, that one. And Southern. So those 3: Southern, OIT, and College of the Siskiyous right now. for this first wave of our field trips for our AVID kids. And then the last announcement is if any of you are really aching to volunteer and be an AVID tutor, we could really use some AVID tutors, especially in our 11th grade AVID. Desi Zamudio has signed on to, which you'll see, to be a volunteer. So if anyone would like to do that, we have them. We have our tutorials on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it'd be fantastic to have you.
So you're not taking the senior kids, you're taking younger kids to the colleges?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don't the seniors go somewhere sometime?
No,
They
they
went
don't.
last year.
They come to, we have all the schools come and visit the representatives, but they don't.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Hamilton?
No, I think I'm done now. Thanks.
Just checking. District goal setting report.
Well, a lot of things happened in September that completely derailed my superintendent's advisory committee, but we're off and running, and we're going to have our first meeting on October 19th at 3 o'clock. And some of the focus areas that we're going to do as far as district goal development are this. First off, new motto, vision statement, and then the 3 areas of emphasis that I'm going to try to branch my team out into 3 teams are curriculum instruction, facilities, and climate. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to working with everybody out here in the trenches to develop a good plan, a broad-based plan that, you know, is top up and is really going to be meaningful to everybody in this district. So anyway, that's my report. Very short and sweet. That we are off and running. So.
Oh, I just put little group. You had a name for them. Go. District?
Well, I brought the superintendent's advisory committee.
Okay.
Somebody called it the other day the SAC. So.
Okay. Mr. Crumrine, ASB report.
Okay. Even just 3 weeks into school, we have had many exciting events at LHS and DMS. We started the year with homecoming, and all of student council worked very hard to be prepared for this week of events. Events included our regular sporting events with volleyball, boys and girls soccer, football, and cross country. On Wednesday, we had our He-Man tournament, but added a new twist by adding girls to the teams. This increased involvement for all grades. The seniors won 1st and 4th places, and the juniors won 2nd and 3rd places. After the He-Man tournament, the kids attended a bonfire that was a huge success. Students enjoyed the fire as well as the cookies and the hot cocoa sold by the student council. On Friday, we had our homecoming corps assembly, where the 9th through 11th grade princesses and princes were announced, along with the senior king and queen. The king and queen were driven away in a very classy Ranger donated by KB&E. At the football game halftime, the traditional burning of the LHS happened, along with a donation made by the LHS student body to a Lost River student who had been in an ATV accident this past summer. To wrap up the busy week, we had our homecoming dance on Saturday night. Around 160 students attended the dance. We started this year with 3 new teachers, Mr. Hicks, Mr. Walker, and Miss Parrish. We introduced them to the entire student body at our homecoming assembly and gave them a Lakeview t-shirt and their favorite candy and drink. We hope they feel welcome. We have a few upcoming events for our student body with the SAT coming on October 1st, the PSAT on October 19th, and senior recognition for our fall sports throughout October. Any questions?
Nice job, Bryce.
I appreciated the introducing the new teachers at the homecoming assembly. That was a very nice thing that we thought.
Thank you, Bryce.
Okay. Rachel Hansen.
Pleased to introduce Rachel. She's through the hospital, and she's the person who represents the food court. So, Rachel? Rochelle, I mean, sorry.
It's okay, yeah, it's Rochelle, but that's okay.
Rochelle, sorry.
I have just a few.
My apologies.
That's totally fine. Just a few. Here's your food bias.
Official copy stuff.
So these are those.
So is it Rochelle or Rachel?
It's
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Rochelle. Okay.
Great, so yeah, my name is Rochelle Hansen. I'm the new Food Corps service member here in Lakeview. Just wanted to take like 5-10 minutes to introduce myself, and then also a little bit about Food Corps. It's the first year that Food Corps is here in Lakeview, so it's kind of exciting. And I know there's been the rare AmeriCorps service members before, and Food Corps is similar, but it's a little bit different, so I'll make that distinction. And then also just talk about kind of specifically what this year of service could look like in Lakeview. So, and I guess it's also important because I'll be working primarily in schools, and so I just want you guys to all be sort of familiar with the kind of stuff I might be doing as the school board. Okay, so yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area. I went to Lewis and Clark College in Portland, Oregon, majored in anthropology, sociology, and environmental studies. Have experience gardening, farming, cooking with kids, all that. And so I'm actually really excited to be a part of Food Corps. It really like encapsulates a lot of the things that I'm really passionate about. And so moving on to Food Corps, I guess the basic mission is just connecting kids with healthy food in schools. It's pretty simple, but there's a network of 215 of us in 18 different states throughout the country. Now that Lake County is a part of the Oregon Food Corps sites, there's 10 altogether. So it was one of 3 new sites that were created this year. In Oregon, Food Corps partners with the Oregon Department of Agriculture. And then here specifically in Lakeview, I'm kind of affiliated with the hospital and specifically the CHIP program. And so a lot of what my work entails is just having teachers invite me into classes for short lessons that are hands-on and based in like garden education as well as nutrition education. But really the focus on like hands-on lessons that then connect to like science, math, Common Core, all those standards is the general approach in the classroom.
So will you be working at a union and helping the teachers out there in their?
Yeah. So definitely, since the garden project is occurring at Union, I'll be out there a fair amount. But I also know that teachers out there are doing some work like this already, and so actually today I was just at Fremont in Miss Waltz's 3rd grade class, and then also Miss Muller's 2nd grade class. So yeah, I will also be at the elementary schools in town, as well as possibly at the high school. Yeah, and then also possibly in Adel. So kind of, yeah, a little bit all across the board there. So in addition to these kind of hands-on garden nutrition-based lessons, I also am hoping to work with cafeteria and cafeteria staff to conduct taste tests of like healthy recipes in the cafeteria. Basically, studies have shown that kids need to be trying new foods they haven't eaten before, like upwards of 10 times. And so the taste tests are really helpful with that in terms of, minimizing food waste because they're just getting a little taste of a food. And if they don't like it one day, maybe they'll like it the next week or whatnot. So I think that's a pretty important component of my work. And so hopefully, I'll be able to collaborate with food service instructors and cafeteria staff in that regard. And then also, if we can use produce from the Union Garden, that would be certainly ideal. And then I guess the last part of my service, sort of like these 3 different sections of it, the last part is just trying to create kind of like a wider school culture of health. And so that can be kind of a wide range of things from, just helping maintaining the garden at Union to working with teachers to, get curriculum, garden-based education curriculum, nutrition stuff connected with standards, or planning events that celebrate the garden or celebrate just healthy eating in general, things of that nature. So I guess just to wrap it up, just here to work with like you guys and work with school staff and work with other community members, students, of course, to just really yeah, with the ultimate goal of just having kids like know what healthy food is, know where it comes from, and then, you know, hopefully choose to eat it every day. I guess last thing before any like questions or comments anyone has is just, I'd like to point out that little green like handwritten card is just my contact information. It's my extension at the hospital, and then also my email and my cell phone number. If any of you guys have any interest or any you know, ideas for goals that or for projects that I could take on, or for things that maybe you would like to see implemented in the next year, I'm really open to, and would love to hear from you. And yeah, just talk about more for like what could be done at in the school district. So if anyone has any questions or comments.
I have the egg in the classroom, so is that?
Oh yeah, so this.
Is that a specific food core curriculum, or is that the egg in the classroom from ODA?
So this actually, yeah, I was just sort of like trying to, yeah, see what it looks like in Lake County. Ag in the classroom is totally what's already happening here, which is a really cool thing that's going through the OSU extension.
Right.
And so me and Sam Ruffiner, who's been doing that, have been collaborating and sort of splitting up classrooms since, yeah, because it's really, the lessons are very similar. So yeah, that's just more of a connection than anything that I'm bringing. That, yeah, that's already existing. Yeah.
I guess I would be interested in, I know we had talked about having a meeting out in Union, and I would be interested in checking out the layout of how it's gonna look, kind of like how we just did here, and see.
Once it's up, you mean?
Yeah.
The greenhouse?
Yeah.
That'd be very exciting.
Do you guys have a time frame from when it might be up?
At this point, we don't. The delivery that we got last week did not include the roof, is my understanding from Sam, for it. And it will take a little while for Sam to cut that solid and get that up. But it's our understanding from the company that we had originally in the grant, Amanda had written in some funds for JASCO to assemble and install the greenhouse. But we were contacted by the company and they want to send a crew, and I don't know if that ties to the warranty piece of it, to install the greenhouse. So we're still investigating the installation piece of that, and Sam and I are working on that. So
And
it's
is
slowed down our progress some.
that our cost, or was it written in the grant, the installation cost?
We had installation costs put into the grant because when Amanda purchased it, they said nothing about installation for us. They didn't indicate that they would provide any installation. And so we put money in the grant to do that. And then they contacted Sam after it had been delivered and said that they would be sending a crew to install it. And we're like,
So this is free, you're telling me? They want to come install it for,
yeah,
they come with the greenhouse kind of deal?
And my assumption is it has to do with being able to warranty the materials or the greenhouse once constructed. So they're going to be waiting on Sam to get the ground ready, and then after that we'll find a time for them to get up here and get it done.
So the money that we have extra that we may not have to pay anyone to install it, do we get to keep it? I'm always looking for free.
Well, keep in mind that we have extra things that are going to happen there. We're pulling up that grass and putting in some gravel, so that could soak up those dollars.
And it's okay to exchange that for that?
We just have to let them know. I think
Yeah.
Susan was going to.
I have a call into Rick Sherman to talk to him about changes in items within the grant, the budget items.
You can amend things in the grant as long as you notify your grant funder and you stay within the intent of the grant.
So is the greenhouse part of the Union School Garden project that you are part of, Rochelle?
Yeah, I mean, I by no means have like, you know, spearheaded the project, but I'm just kind of like coming in now and looking to just,
And
like
so
assist
you keep talking
with
about
it.
this year. So
Yes.
this is the school year or
Yeah, it's through next July, so July
Okay.
2017. Mm-hmm.
So do we have, with the greenhouse, so this, I'm gonna expose how much I garden. Is there a time when we need to have it installed and growing things for a certain outcome, or?
We've kind of passed that.
We have?
Yeah, in some ways, because it's not heated, and so
Okay.
they're unfortunately delayed from multiple delays. It's going to be difficult for them to be able to start much this fall unless they want to do it in greenhouse because it's not heated. They'll be able to start things earlier in the spring, next spring.
Okay.
But it's going to be difficult to do that with as cold as our weather's going to get, if they could.
But that's still within your year timeframe in the spring. So I
Mhm.
mean, and then what do we have to do to get you to stay?
It's actually, I do have the option of being here for 2 years, so that is an option. And I think Food Corps ideally likes to be in a school for 3 years. I think that's sort of their model of, change or whatnot, so.
Because as an ag
Yeah.
community, this is really important. I mean, in my opinion.
I think it's
Yeah.
super exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
I've shared it before, but not for you. I've been down in the schools in Berkeley where they have the outdoor gardens.
Yeah.
And, they pick their flowers, they put them on the home ec table,
Mhm.
they set their table, and kids love the home ec. I mean, it's not the old home ec that we had. It's a little bit different, and it gets them more involved, and they're picking it, and they see where it comes from, and they eat their vegetables. They
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah.
So, it's super exciting, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys have any other questions?
Thanks for presenting that.
Sure.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Any old business?
I have
New business?
Yes, 11.1, I'd like to schedule the October 10, 2016 meeting to October 24th. So October 24th will look like this: work session 6 to 7, and then a regular session meeting at 7. So no meeting for October 10th. Did a memo with the sample motion there. I am, just for public information, I am attending the state Title IX conference because I'm the Title IX guy for the school district. Of course, it kicks
Thank you.
off right at 7:30, 8 o'clock the next morning. I initially thought about being a trooper and having our meeting that night, then rising up at 2:30 and getting on the road. I weakened, so.
We always have to really twist our arm to cancel meetings. Do you have a motion?
Make the motion that we cancel or reschedule the meeting from October 10th to October 24th.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? The motion carries.
Thank you, Board.
Okay, consent agenda?
As presented.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Announcements?
Yes, once again, remind you that the OSBA Fall Regional Meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 25th, 2016, 6 p.m. in Paisley. I'll have the expedition going if any of you want to come along. Please phone in or email me and let me know if you're going to be attending.